Hi guys. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy, but because last week, so the shirt is like falling off a little bit. But I just promised a new friend in Back to Earth Creations Kick account to show her like stuff that I've gotten in my the $5, like it's on sale now for $6. It's like $5.99 on sale. It's normally like $10 or $9.99 on Fire Mountain Gems. Their Boss Bead bag. Sorry, my cat is like looking at me and yawning dangerously. But I thought I had some bags that I hadn't opened yet because I just got like I just got like 10 bags when they were doing the sale. But I had started going through them, trying to pull out all the big cabochons, because they do have cabochons in them. So I'm like trying to figure out what is what in all of these. So I think this bag is the one where I was putting the big stuff from those sets. But this is actually a mixed fancy shapes bead 250 gram mystery bundle. I can show you this one. I don't remember what the price was on this. It was 250 grams. It's like a quarter of a pound, I think, or a half pound. So this is the fancy shaped bead. It looks like there are a lot of glass beads. Decent size. Just had something fall. It's kind of small. So there's another heart shape. That one's got like a blue tinge to it. So these are like almost the same shape, but one is more of a clear and this one is more of a blue. So I guess you could use this together. Then you have that same shape but smaller, and this one has been banged up a little bit, and this one is stringing through horizontally while the larger is stringing through vertically. Then we've got some stone. Oh, the cat wants to play. So we got some green stone, large size beads, round beads. Got some little, again, stone. Yeah, I know, it's weird. I'm old. We do that to figure out what something is. This looks like a jade, but it may be green aventurine. So a small little seed bead. Looks like jade, but again, it could be green aventurine. Some more questionable. Is it jade? Is it green aventurine? Now these are going that way. So like the whole, these are through that way. Yeah. So these are going to be rondelle, I think is what you call that shape, so that they're going that way. We got, these look like they're stones, so that's like a carved stone. That same kind of shape in glass. We've got a square that this has, so this has 2 holes in the side there. So that way you could do an up and a back. You've got a hexagon, I guess you would call it. So diamond on its side and long. Two more rondelles. One is larger than the other. Another rondelle. This one's got more of a pink to it. You have two that are like the same shape, kind of like this rounded rectangle, and that same kind of looks like a synthetic turquoise. I dropped something over here. Got another. This looks like it's a ceramic, large round ceramic bead. We've got a rondelle. This one definitely looks like a stone. It looks kind of like it might be a moss agate. Another round one. It looks like we've got a lot of, so another one of those. So this one is another one. This is serpentine. So it's got like that green serpentine. And then, ooh, this one's nice. Like that. Really pretty glass. That could even be an agate, but I'm pretty sure it's glass. And that looks like the only like really large bead. Got a teardrop that is, it does have some crack in it. Let me see. Well, that at the top that's kind of going at an angle, that's actually the string hole, so not great. Got some Dalmatian, a square Dalmatian. Some more serpentine, a rounded one. More rondelles. Not seeing anything that's super exciting in here. There's like a rectangular that. Got a pink quartz hearts. Yeah, so this has like mostly smaller little beads. I mean, they're not like seed bead size, although there are some seed bead size. You can see in there. The majority are smaller, though. You do have a good handful of larger beads. You just don't have like a lot of the same shape type of stone or glass, so these would be more for using to make as accent. Ooh, I can't even talk. For accent beads rather than to get beads that can be your primary source. So that's the mixed fancy shaped 250 grams beads unbagging for that, so you get an idea what's coming in that. And again, this is all Fire Mountain Gem stuff. Alright, I'm going to put it in this bag so I can keep it so it won't go scattering everywhere. Then this next item, okay, so this is sealed. So we know what this is. This is the mixed bead component acrylic 2 to 45 millimeter, quarter pound. So let's see what we're getting in here. So our large beads got this kind of fun. And remember, these are all acrylic, so these you can actually see the mold line, so you would want to use your, here's my files. I can show you what you do. Like if you get beads that have those mold, not as in stuff that grows, but as in what it's encased in. Where are my files? Cats keep knocking my stuff off of here. So anyway, you want to take your files, like the small files, and file down. You can actually, especially when it's like really thick, like down there, you see how thick it is, and that's not actually part of the design. You want to snip off as much as you can and then start filing it down so that it's nice and smooth and it's not like standing out really bad. Where did that bag go? Oh, like totally lost it. Losing my mind. Okay, here it is. I don't know. So we got like this cool little marbly, a fun little sideways heart, nutty thing. So we've got 2 of these, and these have this kind of like Pringles shape to them, and then there's that one. Again, this is the same thing where you're not getting any repeating pieces, so these would be things that you would, the holes that way, so you could do it that way or that way. Oh, we got one like red and white. These are not going to be things that you're going to really be able to use to create a repeating pattern item. It's going to be like you'll be using these as kind of a accent beads piece. This is also another Pringle one that's orange. That's a nice pretty bead. And it's got the faceted cut. The problem when you have these bead mixtures where you're not getting a lot of repeating items, and then you're getting a bunch of little beads, I mean, it's not really that useful, because then they're not really great as accent beads, because your accent beads are usually going to be something that's kind of your showstopper, a big piece, not a random shiny piece, that's not very large. So with this, it does have several of these beads that are kind of like colored rondelles, so I guess you could like throw those into a mismatch bracelet. So like if you want to make a bracelet that literally is a mismatch of things, that would be kind of a quirky little fun thing. Or if you're doing some bead painting, that's like a new big thing. This is labradorite. So this is strands of little rice beads with labradorite. I used a lot of labradorite, so I thought those would be cool to have for this. Okay, so these are some of the larger beads that I've gotten out of the big Boss bag of beads. So like this is a bunch of Boss bags that I kind of emptied into here for sorting. So the first thing I do is I start pulling out. I get tons of these all the time. They're wood beads, and they have like, they're all different colors, and they have like these little white dots. There's like the single round one, then there's like double round ones, and there's kind of like the long one. So I pull those out first, then I pull out the other wood beads, because those are pretty much a regular thing that you get in the Ross bag, and you can see that there's a ton in here. And once I get those out of the way, then it's a lot easier to see what I've got going on. And of course, usually I kind of like do the old school. If you're old like me, you remember like running your hand in the Rice Krispie box trying to find the prize, before they like wised up and started putting the prize package between the box and the inner liner, because parents were getting pissed off at their kids basically ruining you're ruining the food by putting your hands all in it. So some of the things that I normally find in my bags, I don't have at hand, because a lot of them I have been sorted into the plastic containers that I have, but I have examples from this newest purchase. I just don't have as many as I've had before. Like these really cool skull head beads. I got a ton of those, like the last couple orders that I did. And so far I've only seen a few in this. You've seen me like moving over these bags of stones. So these are all my pre-sorting of the like 5-pound boxes of tumbled stones that I've gotten from Fire Mountain Gems. So I kind of break them down by color, and then I'll look them, once I get them all kind of broken down by color, then I can start taking pictures of them and looking up what type of stones they are, and then dividing them out by the type of stone. I do get a lot of cat's eye. So, and some of this cat's eye is actually beads from the Bead Boss. So then these are some of the sorted beads already, like the nicer beads that I get in these Bead Boss kits. So we've got like the amethyst looking ones, we've got oranges, so all the different oranges, and I've got all different greens that I get. Like a lot of these are glass. Some of these, it's a mixture of glass bead mystery bags that I've gotten, as well as the bead Ross. So there's like the amber colored ones, there's blues, then this is that one bag we just looked at. There's our red. Okay, and then that's our mixed fancy. We already did that. Let me see. I'm trying to give like a good, another thing that you get a lot of. I actually trash most of the earring findings that I get because it's not really something that I make. So if you want the earring findings, let me know. And then that way I won't toss them, and you can just pay postage and I'll mail them to you. Because I just got a bunch of earring stuff. So it's like the hooks, like this. And then there'll be things for, you get the hooks, and then there's ones for clip-ons and stuff like that. I just don't really usually keep those, so I get a lot of those that I end up trashing. But if somebody wants them, let me know, because I'd rather somebody get them that wants them than not. You also get a lot of the pin heads, both with the pin head on it and the loop head. So those I do keep because those are great to have on hand for, making different attachments. I get a lot of these little guys. They're like a little, so it's like a little spacer, and you see it has a hole in the center, so you can put it like that through your beading, or you could even, make it so it drops down. You could loop it through to be a front. So those are cute. I keep those. These guys are great for holding pendants. You get a lot of those. Some jump rings, like different types of jump rings. I've gotten those. The ribbon ends, so for ending off your, this would then go into the closure side, and because it's got multiple loops, you can have multiple strands coming off of it. So you get those kinds of findings. You get these metal pieces. So this one's like a rounder. So I also get ones that are kind of like oblong. So those are really cool. They're like hematite, I think it's called. Other little enders. There's one of the clip-on earring findings that I would normally trash. Chains. These are cool. So these are like for making eyeglass chains. So, or sunglass chains. So that way you can use this to hook around the end of your eyeglasses. And then you have the ring to start building your chain off of. So those are some of the findings that you get in these sets. Some of the bigger findings. So those are some of the smaller findings. This is kind of cool. Little metal disc. Then for some reason I got a ton of these like giant earring loops. It is not the 80s anymore. They definitely are like, you're an 80s girl. You should be up for these. So this one is for pendants, even though it looks like a giant earring hoop. So that's for pendants. So or an earring. So you would have your loop coming off that would go to your chain or your earring hoop, and then you've got a loop here that you can dangle down. These are also really good for making tree of life. So I do save those for making tree of life with. Then I've got this little bale bit that's got leaves on it. Is it leaves or feathers? I don't know. So then these are like the earrings, the giant hoop earrings that you could use to put hanging earrings off of. I still don't get these. So like the bottle cap that I guess you put like a picture inside there, or you could put a cabochon. I don't know. Safety pins. I live with safety pins. Like before they made cool safety pins like this, like in the 80s, we used to wear safety pins on our clothes, and that was cool. So that one I would definitely save that. There's also there'll also be safety pins that have like the little loops on them, so you can make dangles to come off of it. Let me see. Oh, here's another pendant that's like good for like a mother's pendant. Oh, it's actually an earring thing, and then it's got the multiple holes for doing your dangles. So a lot of findings. You'll see there'll be a lot of findings in those pound kits. They don't weigh a lot, so it's not that big of a deal, but I do trash a lot of them as far as like the earring pieces. Jump rings, stuff like that will be in there. This side. Here's some of the other findings that are in there, so you can see my hair. You see there's jump rings, there's like little spacer beads, stuff like that. I get a bunch of these too, like little clips. Reminds me of the military, but they're kind of a cheap plastic. Okay, so this is sealed. So I'm pretty sure this is a bag I haven't opened yet. So this would be a perfect example. So we're going to do this example of us opening one of these bags that I haven't gone through yet. So we can kind of dig out the big goodies real quick, and then I'll just add the rest to my pile of stuff I still need to go through at a later date, and you'll get a good idea of what's in, what's useful. So in this round, all of them have had these, and they are little circle. At first you think it's like, oh, they sent me some wire. It's like, oh, they're circles. So they actually clip in like that. So trying to get that to go in there. So it could be an earring if you want it to, or it could be, like I said, for making tree of life in, or for making, you know, a hanging loop earring, something like that. But you get like a little pack of, I think there's like 10 in there, and like all of my bags have had those. There's one of the larger items. I think most of my bags have had at least one large circle item that has a large or smaller hole, and these are pretty heavyweight stone or synthetic stone. For some reason I've been getting these kind of often as well. I don't honestly know if they know what they're putting in here, but these are actually for ear holes. So if you get like the big giant holes in your ears, those are for putting in there. So this is like sizing up. So like you would get that first. You would put the big hole in and you would put that in there. After your ears gotten stretched out some, you would then get that size. And then I've actually gotten even bigger size within this bead kit. It's supposed to be beads, but these are actually ear stretchers. Just so you know, if you get it and you don't know what that is, it's an ear stretcher. This is another larger bead, and this actually looks like the hole is going at a diagonal. So it's kind of like a wave one, and you've got one hole on that corner, and then the other hole is on that corner. So it would be going through at an angle like that, and it's got a wave. Oh, here's one of the skulls that I was talking about. These are like so cool, and I've gotten several different colors of them, and they're like they're kind of like a clay, a ceramic kind of hard feel to them, and those actually string through the head, so straight down that way. A large glass bead. I'm trying to grab all the big. Here's one of the bigger ear spacers. So like I said, this one, it actually gives you a set of 2 starters. So you could do one of each ear, then you've got the next size up, and then you've got the next size up. So these aren't beads, they're actually ear stretchers. But in this case, you actually have a full set for one ear, and the smallest one for the other ear. Here's some more of like the earrings that I've been tossing. So they're not really a high quality metal. Try and get the light right. So it's not really something that I would keep. I've gotten several of these in different colors. So they're like a rondelle spacer bead. And then, like I showed you, I gotten these. These are all from the last time I ordered. This time, my order that, like all of the orders are coming with those in pink. So you can see there's a bunch of them in here still, from the ones that I have to finish sorting. So pink seems to be the new color for those. I guess those are good for like if you're making stuff to hook onto backpacks and stuff like that. So there's more of those. There's another nice big size bead. That one's really pretty, the green and red. Another skull. Yay, I love the skulls. All of the ones this time have also come with the gold tone necklaces. So those are all kind of been going. These have all been going on my holder there. Some more earrings that I don't keep. So we're gonna pull those out. So those are the non-keep earrings. Some really pretty glass beads with the wraparound. Oh, this one's cool. So like a twisty, that one's like this cool twisty bead, and it actually has a large hole going through. That's pretty. It's very kind of natural feeling. I also get these join the trash bin for me, and they're plastic or like those, the little backed plastic bead things. I don't really keep those. Occasionally I'll keep ones that don't have that like fake thing on it, like the hearts. Sometimes I'll keep those if they haven't been too messed up. Oh, there's a really nice teardrop cabochon. Whoa, he fell. It's a nice stone teardrop cabochon. Here's some of the wooden beads. Like I said, those are ones that I tend to grab out and get those out of the way, since I normally get a lot of those. More skulls. I definitely have enough skulls to make a couple of bracelets. That's a pretty glass bead. And then we have, so this order, like almost all of my orders have had these cute little starfish, and of 2 different sizes. So there's like a larger size and a smaller size that I've gotten in those. Another stick pen, and both last order and this order I've got, these are like a nice heavy metal little girl and little boy the charms I've gotten in both of those. This is the first time I've gotten like these little mushroom shape of the wood beads with the little dots on them. So those would go in there, and then we've got some plain wood beads that are going to go in the plain wood bead section, plain wood bead bag. And then we've got the little colored wood bead. And then I also get a lot of these, and they actually, the hole goes that way. These are really cute for making necklaces, charms. These are like, you know, good kid ones. We have another, this one's kind of fun. So it's like kind of like a painted copper snazzy little one. I'm not really sure on that, because the way that's, I don't know on that one. I have to figure that one out. Another one of those beads. So these guys. Here's the little boy. So I showed you the little girl before. So we got the little boy and the little girl metal charms. More of those plastic. I guess they're like for glue on kind of situation, but I don't really do that. faux pearls. I'm not a faux pearl person just because I have a ton of real pearls over there. These are not bad in any way. In some cases, I legitimately have to chew on it to get that coating off. And they have some nice colors. So if you don't mind faux pearls, their faux pearls are definitely a decent quality. I just don't need them, so those go in my denim. Glass beads, like I said, they're not all seed beads. They do have good size. That's a pretty. Is this ceramic or glass? This is like a ceramic bead. Another one of those rondelles. This one's like a bone colored. The other one was the dark brown. Wood bead. There's like another wood bead. Or wood bead bag. Ooh, that one's pretty. It's got like a gold leaf inside. This one has almost a Kringle wave to it. It does have that top hole. I do wrap these though, even with the top hole. You can still wrap these and even like use that to help give you extra security on holding it as a cabochon, and then just cover the hole with your filigree so it's not. We got another ear spacer. Oh, and that one's the middle size. No, that one is actually another size. So we have 4 sizes of ear spacers, it looks like. So, even though this is a bead bag, those are for stretching your ear out. So those are actually kind of expensive. And if you're getting this for stuff to sell at flea markets and stuff, you can actually get good money for these, because these are actually pretty heavyweight. Just clean them really good, and yeah, they're like nice ceramic spacers. So just these spacers right here more than pay for the bag. So if you are doing like craft fairs, I think the person that I'm doing this video for said that she gets stuff to make for craft fairs. So you've got your $6 back just in those guys if you clean them up and put them out as ear spacers, because all the young people there are buttons as well, which you can use buttons for crafts. You can use them for your jewelry. Another one of the rondelles. Is that like a moss agate maybe? So this one goes at an angle. So it's going from that corner to that corner for the threading. That's a nice glass piece, and that's going through that direction. Pretty glass. I'm trying to pull all the big, the bigger stuff out. Oh, that one's really pretty. This one looks like an ocean jasper, like those blues and the brown. That's pretty. Because, like I said, a lot of it's going to be those same wooden bits. I get a lot of these red ones. So if you do get a couple of them, you will definitely be able to make a bracelet. Get several of those. There's some more. You're probably going to get, if you're into and would use faux pearls, you're going to get a lot of different colors. So like we got like a cream, a true white, a blush pink, a pale pink, and a lavender right there. In varying sizes. You got ceramic white balls. We've got a yellow of that tube. It's kind of like the old macaroni days. Really pretty. Another button. Charm. So, you know, for $6, I think you definitely get usable items. So stuff that I wouldn't use, but you might be interested in. So I just show it because some people are interested in those. Another glass bead. You do get a good amount of glass beads as well. Another one of the metal charms, little boy. But then there are a lot of stuff that like I don't use, like the earring post and the oh, these are really cool. I get these often too. So these are for like you run. A lot of times this is usually used for beading using the like fishing line kind of stuff instead of a metal wire, and it's a tube that you then use as a spacer, and your wire can go between it and then stuff. So it's kind of like a lulu tong in a way. I guess you could, if you had a big enough hole in your pearls, you could make like a thing, a lulu tong thing, but it's usually used for a spacer. We have, just saw one of these. I've seen a couple of these, and this last thing is beads that actually have letters on them, in a couple different patterns. There's another earring thing for non-pierced ears. You would attach whatever to that section right there. I don't keep those, so this is all stuff that I would not keep. This is a little metal finding, so this is for like if you're using like a ribbon or something like that, you would put that at the end of it and it clamps down to hold it, and then you have your metal loop here to attach your closure piece. Some small beads. So here's like our small beads in this section. Some more pearls. And again, these are all faux pearls that come in there. Really pretty little glass beads. Oh, I like that one. Another glass bead. I actually like this shape, but smaller, for making arrows. And you can actually use your pen head piece for that. So to make a bow and arrow, to make the arrow, so this is like a larger example of it. Let me see, where's my round thing on the end here. So you have your your long piece here with your arrow like there, and you can use your pliers to bend that down so it kind of like creates a little holder, and or use some wire to hold it in place. So I'm just going to do a little notch like that so it stays there in place. And then you're going to go to the end and you're going to do, I'm going to use the second size loop and loop that around like so. So then it sticks out like that. And then I'm going to use my smaller loop on the end that's sticking out, and that is my flashing, I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, flashing I think it is. And then it went flying and I can't find it. Okay. So, close your beast. And then you can actually put like smaller beads in there to decorate that. But that's where you're going to attach that to your bow. And this then becomes your arrow. And your bow, you would take wire and like use a round bit of mandrel and then kind of bow it out like that. Do round on either end. So you're gonna have your bow is gonna be, your wire's gonna come out to here, and go back in, and you'll attach the bow there. That's going to help hold your arrowhead gem in place on the bow. It comes down like that, and then you have your wire comes from the little twirls on either end of the bow, comes out, goes around your little end there. And you can even, like I said, you can even put some little gems inside there. I have a bow. I'm going to do some videos of stuff that I've finished. So I can start taking bids on that stuff. So I can like actually start paying for all this stuff that I buy to make stuff. But I have 2 or 3 bow and arrows that I've made already. But it's like a really quick and easy thing, and it looks like really cute when it's done. So we've got another of those. But that's something right there that you can use some of these things with. Like you complete one of those bow and arrows, and even though it doesn't take a lot of time, that's something that those sell for $20-$30, and your kit costs $5. So for me, I try and what I will sell stuff for is like the cost of my supplies, and like in attrition of the cost of my tools and stuff, kind of added in there so that I can get back to even on all this credit card that I've run up buying supplies from the addiction. I got a lot of these, So I have a lot of these guys. Where is that? Aggie. So we've got the red, we've got the green. Where is all of my clears? Oh, here they are. So like those are like all the clear beads that I've gotten in these. Some jump rings. That goes with the findings. So then we're starting to get down to the nitty-gritty of just small stuff. We still have some medium-sized beads to go through. Oh, here's another finding type that I didn't show you yet is, where did it go? Here's some, bead caps. So there'll be different sizes of bead caps. So those are really handy to have from these sets, is because when you're doing like a row of beads, having those bead caps to differentiate between your beads. So like if you had like one main bead that was your focal point, you could then have the bead cap. If you had two, you could have one on either side and then your other beads coming off of it. Or if you're doing it as a dangle, you have that bead cap on top, and now you fancied it up just by throwing a bead cap on it. And like, no big, right? Trying to see if there's anything else. It's like, oh, there's a little fun star that kind of stands up. For the majority, we've got a bunch of clasps in there, which are always super handy. There seems to be a lot of clasps, which you can always use. So there you go. Hook and eye clasp. There's a lot of those in there. But you see, so it's not just a bunch of seed beads. There are smaller, but not really a lot of teeny tiny little seed beads. You do get a good amount of medium to large size beads. You do get some cabochons. You know, like there's not a lot of cabochons, but there's always like a couple in there. Every bag also comes with, I don't have any of them out here because I usually put those away as soon as I get them. They all come with something that's on the card still, whereas, you know, this is all dumped in a bag situation, but they all do come with a off the rack carded item. This set, two of them I like, and like I could see using, because they're like a little crown with some little dangles off of it. But then there's the one that came with most of them is kind of ugly. It's like this giant feather kind of situation. So I personally am not like doing it for the carded item, where some people do it for the carded item. I so far really haven't found that much. Ooh, I have to have this for, oh, here's one of the carded items. So like this one has those beads. Maybe. No, this one I bought this separate. But the carded item is like this. It's something where it comes on the carded thing, and it's some type of item. Here's the Here's more of, I got several of these cabochon guys. That's some of the other big pieces that I've gotten. These are some of the other big pieces I've gotten from these bags. A lot of the skull heads. These might also be ear things, but I'm not sure just because of the shape is weird. I don't know. But I do love the circles. And like you see, a cat's eye. Really huge, nice piece of cat's eye that I got in one of them. One of the bags. Like I said, most of the bags do have one nice stone or metal circle ring piece. So it's an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this off. I just was I was asked in a group about what came in the kits, because someone was interested in possibly buying one and didn't want to, like, you know, waste their money if it wasn't something that they would be of value to them. This is the bead pack that's all shells, smaller, different shapes. That's labradorite that I got. This is stuff from one of those bead kits. One of the boss bag beads. This is Lampwork glass bead mix. Bags have been through it. This one has like an evil eye glass, so all of these are glass beads that are in that Lampworks. That needs to be cleaned. That's that mystery bag. This looks like stuff from, so that's all stuff that I've been pulling out of the bead bags. That's the glass beads. I've been pulling out the bead bags. These, I don't remember what these came out of. It was like a large stone mix. Wait, does it say on here? Is this the right sticker? Mix of focal gemstone. No, it says it's glass. So these aren't glass. These are real stone. But these are like big honking stones. And that's the set. Mixed gemstone, fancy size and shape. So these are mixed gemstone, fancy size and shape. So that is a whole bunch of stuff that I've gotten from Friar Mountain to give you an idea of what they have in their mystery bags. If you want to get them, now you know. So, talk to you later. Bye.